Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are regular with the video lectures and you all are doing your homework regularly. We are going to continue with the same chapter, that is, chapter 6, Retirement or Death of a Partner. So far, we have completed illustration 13 and illustration 14. Yes? Both of these sums were quite simple. They were almost similar to the sums that we have solved in chapter 5. Yes, the only variation was instead of a partner getting admission in the firm, the partner is retiring in chapter 6. You were distributing all the reserves, profit and loss among all the partners instead of old partners. Rest of the steps are almost same. It is revaluation of assets and liabilities, adjustments of goodwill with a minor variation. If we are talking about the concept of goodwill, in last chapter, the partner was supposed to bring the premium for goodwill, and here the case is reverse. The partner is going to retire, and hence existing partners are supposed to pay his share of goodwill. We used to obtain sacrificing ratio earlier. Now we are supposed to obtain gaining ratio. Yes, and other process it is also same. When you balance the accounts, the profit on revaluation or loss on revaluation of assets and liabilities here is to be distributed among three partners, that is all partners, all the partners instead of old partners. I'll repeat this, that the profit on revaluation of assets and liabilities is to be distributed among all the partners. If you consider this chapter, all the partners are three partners. The sums expected are of three partners. The partnership firm is having three partners. Then you transfer that particular answer in the next account, which is partners capital accounts. Yes? And when you balance partners capital accounts, the minor variation here again is that the share of retiring partner is to be obtained very first while you balance partners capital accounts. Why? Because that particular amount is to be given to the partner in cash, either it is to be kept as a loan. Now, how do you decide that? If in the given question it is clearly mentioned that you will pay the amount in cash, only then you are going to pay the amount in cash to the retiring partner. And if nothing is instructed, you are going to keep that amount as a loan. Yeah? About remaining partners, it is the closing balance of their capital which is to be transferred in new balance sheet. Yeah? So this was just a quick revision of the things that we have completed so far. And we are going to start with a new sum in today's lecture. So here is the request that you should watch this video lecture very carefully and completely till end. If you will miss a single thing, it is impossible for you to understand the concept clearly. So you should watch it till end for complete understanding. Alright? Another important thing is you should keep your books with you, which is a textbook and a writing book. Over and above this, the other essentials. Yes, pen, pencil, anything that you need. We're going to proceed with illustration 15 in today's lecture. And as you know, it is not possible to complete a long sum within a single lecture. So we are going to do it in two parts. Yes, so this is the first lecture for illustration 15. Yes, we are going in an order. We have done illustration 13, then we have completed illustration 14, and now we are about to start illustration 15. Yeah, in today's illustration or sum, I can say the only new thing is about current accounts, which is also not new, but we can consider this as a new concept in context to this chapter. The two illustrations that we have understood, that we have learned, were only about preparation of partners' capital accounts. In the given question, it was not mentioned that we are supposed to prepare current accounts. The balance of current accounts was not given in an old balance sheet. Yes, you know this very well, that when you are supposed to prepare current accounts, when in the given question the balances of current accounts of partners are given. Yes, and we are going to solve this sum slowly. So you should keep your writing book with you. You are going to write along. You are going to write this sum along with understanding. I repeat, this is illustration 15. Please be ready with your textbook and a writing book. In your textbook, it is given on page number 234. Let us see. Yes, an important concept for today is current accounts. The sum consists the balance of current accounts, partners' current accounts. Let us see. Okay, this is illustration 15 in your textbook, page number 234. Please pay attention. This is your question. Gopi, Krishna and Ram are the partners of a firm sharing profit and loss in the ratio of 1/2, 1/3 and 1/6. Firstly, let us talk about the old ratio that they have mentioned. Now this cannot be considered as a ratio because if you see the denominator of all the three partners, the share of all the three partners is not same. So let us solve that first. 1/2, 1/3 and 1/6. What you are supposed to do, you are supposed to choose the higher denominator, which is 6 here. So you are going to multiply 3 in first case, 2 in second case to make the denominator equal. Talking about Gopi, it is 1/2 into 3/3. So the answer is 3/6. Denominator same. Talking about Krishna, it is 1/3. So 1/3 into 2/2. The denominator is same again, 2/6. I repeat, 1/3 into 2/2. So 2/6. So what is the ratio now? It is 3:2:1. Yes. Please write down the old ratio. I will repeat the calculation. It is compulsory that you are doing writing work along with this video lecture. I repeat, old ratio. The first partner, Gopi, you can write it down as G for now, equals to 1 by 2 into 3 by 3 equals to 3 by 6. Second partner, 1 by 3 into 2 by 2 is 2 by 6, and Ram is 1 by 6 already given. So old ratio is 3:2:1. I hope I'm clear. So let's have a look into the old balance sheet now. You can see they have given capital accounts and also the balances of current accounts. For Gopi and Ram, it is given on credit side, and current account of Krishna is given on asset side. So the very first step, that is, we are going to check what we are supposed to do, what we are instructed to do, and where is it mentioned? After adjustments. Yes, here are your adjustments. Page number 235 in your textbook. Please pay attention. Page number 235 in your textbook. In case if you find any difficulty reading it on the screen, then you must keep your textbook with you. Okay. Ram is the partner going to get retired, the last partner. There are 6 adjustments, and below that you are supposed to prepare revaluation account, current accounts, capital accounts, and balance sheet. Okay. You can also prepare cash and bank account. It is optional. If you prepare, well and good, and if you don't prepare, you can directly give effects in the balance of cash. If you are comfortable with that, then also it is fine. Here in this illustration we have not prepared, but if you want to prepare, then it's okay. There is no change in the answer. Okay, so how many accounts we are supposed to prepare? Here if you can see, you are instructed to prepare partner's current account even. Why? Because the balances of current accounts are given in old balance sheet. I have instructed this even in the previous chapter. Whenever in the balance sheet, given balance sheet, you are provided with the balances of current accounts, you are supposed to prepare current accounts of partners. Yes? Fine then. So you will draw necessary accounts. Revaluation account, partners current accounts, partners capital accounts, and balance sheet after retirement of Ram. I expect you all prepare these accounts quickly. I repeat, you are supposed to prepare these accounts. Please be quick. It does not take much time to draw lines. Make sure you are available with all the essentials to prepare or to draw accounts. You should have your pen, pencil, scale, everything. And if you don't have it right now, make sure you take it along in the next lecture when you watch the next video lecture. By now, you should have developed this habit. Okay, I think you all are done preparing accounts. Okay, which is our next step? In this sum, they have not asked us to write down journal entries. So I hope none of you has prepared the format for journal. Yeah? It is nowhere instructed. Now our next step is that we are supposed to find out gaining ratio. So for gaining ratio, you need old ratio and new ratio. New ratio is given in the sixth adjustment. If you can see, the sixth adjustment, please pay attention. The new profit loss sharing ratio of Gopi and Krishna is 2:1. Yes? And what is their old ratio? We have already obtained. It is 3:2:1. Let us see if we are provided with the working notes. Yes, it is given on page number 236 of your textbook. Please pay attention. There is a new balance sheet and below that you are provided with the working notes. The very first working note is about gaining ratio. Gaining ratio is similar to the previous sums that we have solved. Just the way we used to find out is the way we are going to find it out now. Simply apply the formula, which is new share minus old share. So for Gopi and Krishna, if you calculate the gain for Gopi, you should pay attention in your textbook either on the screen. Yes, so the answer is 1/6. So Gopi's gain is 1/6 and Krishna's gain is 0. What does that mean? Understand. Krishna does not gain, does not even sacrifice. So Krishna's old share as well as new share are same. There is no change. Let us revise this concept. In illustration 13, when we obtained gaining ratio, both the partners were gaining. In illustration 14, one partner was gaining and another was sacrificing. Here the thing is, one is gaining and other one is not sacrificing, not even gaining. Alright? So who is the person going to pay the share of goodwill to the retiring partner? The question is that. Obviously, the one who is gaining. So in this case, Gopi is the person going to pay the amount of goodwill to a retiring partner, that is Ram. Alright? Krishna will not pay because Krishna is not gaining, not even sacrificing. Okay? Sorry. Hope I'm clear till now. Fine. Which is our next step? It is that you will read all the adjustments and you will put a tick mark in your balance sheet over the items having adjustments. First adjustment is related to machine, then trademark, then debtors. You should put a tick mark in your old balance sheet and write down the number over there. This is your old balance sheet machinery, you should write it down as 1, trademark as 2, debtors as 3. Alright. Next adjustment, bills receivable. And this is again related to debtors and bank or cash balance, whatever is provided. Please put a tick mark over these things. I will surely explain these adjustments. For now, we are just putting a tick mark over the items. I mean over assets and liabilities having adjustments. Put a tick mark over debtors and cash in bank for fourth adjustment. Okay. Next one is about goodwill of the firm, and the very next to it is new ratio. So sixth is already done. Yeah. So let us start solving these adjustments now. First one, please pay attention. The value of machine is to be increased by 10%. Yes, machine. Machine is an asset. Increase in the value of an asset is recorded where? It is recorded in revaluation account. On which side? On credit side. Machine is of rupees 60,000 in old balance sheet. How much is it to be increased? 10%. 10% for 60,000 is 6,000. Let us check revaluation account. Credit side. Buy machine account 6,000. Alright. I hope I'm clear. And talking about the second effect of this adjustment, obviously in new balance sheet, new value. This is your new balance sheet, and on asset side you can see below trademark it is machinery 66,000. How? It is 60,000 plus 6,000 of adjustment. What do they say? The value of machine has increased. So whenever there is an increase in the value of an asset, we are going to add. And if it is decreased, we are going to deduct. We have added here because the value of machine has increased. So the new value of machine is 66,000. Fine. Let us check the next adjustment. The value of trademark is to be reduced up to 40%. Trademark is an asset again. It is 18,000 to be reduced up to 40%. Understand. What is the value of trademark in balance sheet? 18,000. And they say reduced up to 40%. Understand the difference. This does not mean that the value of trademark has been reduced by 40%. No. It is reduced up to 40%. That means from 100%, now its new value is only 40%. So how much has been reduced? I repeat, please listen to me carefully. Old value, I mean the value which is mentioned in the balance sheet, trademark, this is 100%. Now it is reduced up to 40%. That means you are going to reduce it up to 40%. That means the new value is now only 40% of 100%. So what is the difference? Obviously 60%. So it has reduced by 60%. Yes? So what is 60% for 18,000? Hope you are having your Kelsey with you right now. 18,000 into 60 by 100. It is 10,800. You can also have a look towards the working note for this on page number 237 of your textbook. The third working note is mentioned. 10,800 is the amount reduced, the value reduced for trademark. So decrease in the value of an asset is recorded on debit side of revaluation account. Check here, revaluation account, debit side, you'll get to know it is written to trademark account, which is 10,800. Yes? Now what is its new value? Let us check in the balance sheet. The new balance sheet, we are going to check this. Sorry. See. 18,000 minus 10,800. 7,200 written in the outer column is the 40%. And reduced amount 10,800 is 60%. Okay, fine. Yes, before starting adjustments, I think we forgot to record the opening balances in this sum. So we'll do that first. We forgot a step. Yes, as I said that you have prepared partners' capital accounts and current accounts in this sum after preparing revaluation account, and then lastly you have prepared balance sheet. The gaining ratio has been obtained, and the step after that is that you will record all the opening balances, is what I forgot to mention. So what is the opening balance of capital accounts? Let us write it down quickly in partners capital accounts. Page number 235 you can check in your textbook. In partners capital accounts, on credit side it is by balance brought down the respective amount in respective column. You know how to record opening balances by now. Yeah? Alright, now talking about the opening balances of current accounts of partners. This is for the first time in this chapter. It is not for the first time in accounts, but in this chapter. So let me teach you this for once, and now onwards in next sum the necessary steps you will follow, and I will only teach the new things, new adjustments. Rest of the procedure remains same, so there is no question of repeating same stuff again and again. So recording opening balances, preparing necessary accounts, adjustments of revaluation of assets and liabilities, you should be ready with that from next lecture. Yes, we were talking about the opening balances of current accounts. Let us check the balance sheet for that purpose. Yes, the balance of current accounts of Gopi and Ram are on credit side, and for Krishna it is on debit side. So in partners current accounts, on debit side, to balance brought down in the column of Krishna 4,500, because Krishna is having debit balance, and on credit side in the column of Gopi and Ram, because they are having credit balance. The opening balance of their current accounts is credit. So in this manner you are supposed to record the opening balances before starting with any adjustments. Alright? And we have completed 2 adjustments for today. Further we'll continue in the next lecture. By then, Let us check what is your homework for today. Yes, you are supposed to complete sum number 6, which is similar to illustration 13. Further, you are supposed to complete sum number 7, which is similar to illustration 14. And talking about illustration 15, you are supposed to complete it in your fair book, whatever we have done in today's video lecture. Alright, we'll see you all in the next lecture soon. Till then, stay home and